Is it time for some coffee, dog? Hi Singletrackers, Mark here. As every good bikepacker knows, your kit is not complete unless you also take with you a way to make coffee. And so today I'm going to show you 4 different ways to make coffee while you're bike camping. It's a giant tea bag on the end of a stick. Oh, this genuinely is my first coffee of the day. Put a little bit of water on to start with.
I think I'm feeling pretty wise right now. I think I might need to go and sit in a dark room with...
Here are my 4 different ways of making coffee. We'll start over here on the right. This and this and this are from a company called Barista & Co. This one is called the Brew stick. This one is called the Twist press. And this one is called the One Brew. What I've got over here is one that you might be familiar with. This is the Ubiquitous AeroPress. I thought it would be a very good test to compare all of these against this standard. So this is the brew stick. It's really, really simple. You literally take it out and it's a giant tea bag on the end of a stick. You undo that, you put your coffee into there, you put it into your cup, you pour on your hot water, and that's all there is to it. So let's give this a go. Okay, I've brought my pre-ground coffee. Now the thing that I've learnt with this is that the choice of coffee is really important. You've got to use filter style grind with this. If you stick your normal espresso grind, fine grind in this, it's just going to clog it up. I've played around with the amounts that we put in. For me, for what I like, I'm going with about half a basket of coarse ground coffee. So put that on there, and then you gently pour your hot water over the top, and then you just leave the stick in there, and you let it brew. If you come in and look in the coffee, you can see that that's actually, it's clearly working. So once you've had this in for, well, it's entirely up to you. You've got to experiment with this. I found experimentation is the key to this little device. Like I said, I initially put almost an espresso grind in there, and it didn't do anything. It was far too fine. It's got to be coarse. So check that out. That's, you know, all these drips. Cleanliness is something that's really, really important. You just don't want to be dropping coffee all over the place. You want it to be convenient when you're camping. This is its own little drip tray, which I think is kind of cool. So I've got my coffee here. I like mine with a little splash of milk. And let's have a look. Right, that's the right colour. It certainly is for me. So let's give it a taste and see what it's like. Oh, this genuinely is my first coffee of the day. And that is good. That is really, really good. I'm very, very happy with that. It's taken a few goes at this to get the measurements right for me, and you'll have to do that too. But that is a straightforward filter style coffee. So what's also important is once you've made your coffee is how easy is it to clean up your kit. Okay, for this one, like I said, you've got your drip cup here, which is great, and all you do is take that off. There's the grounds inside, tap that into the bin, run it under the tap, job's good. That was the brew stick from Barista & Co, and you can get one of these for about 12 quid. Okay, next up is the Barista & Co Twist press. This you can get for around about 25 to 30 pounds online, and let's give this a go. So this is the Barista & Co Twist press. It's very interesting. I think this is ingenious. I'm going to show you how this works. First of all, to make your coffee, you have to take the thing apart. It twists, and you can see the thread in there. Everything comes apart. I'm going to put that to one side. Take this part off. It goes there, and you can see all the working parts. We've got the filter here. This is a system, if you're familiar with the AeroPress, you'll be familiar with these little filter papers. This requires these filter papers. Filter goes in there, and then if I get the kettle, it requires pre-wetting. So that is just put a little bit of water on to start with. I'm going to put the chamber on. I'm now going to put the coffee in. Now this is where it gets clever, because what I like about this system is this plunger part here has a secret compartment into which I have pre-stored coffee. This is more of an espresso grind because you can use that with this. I'm going to put about 3 of those in there. Again, how much you put in there depends on how you want your coffee to be. Put that on the top of your cup, and now we're simply going to fill the whole mechanism with boiling water. We're going to give it a stir. It's already starting to trickle through, I can hear that. And we're going to leave that for about a minute or so. Okay, that's brewed. I'm going to put my mechanism on the top there, and I am simply going to bring these together. What's happening now is the plunger inside is putting pressure on that coffee and forcing it through the filter. When the two handles are together, we're done. Take that off, and we've got our coffee. Dash of milk. See the colour there? Second coffee of the day. Oh, now that is noticeably different from the brew stick, because the brew stick relies on a kind of just a passive mixing process, just like a filter, like a percolator machine. But whereas this requires your pressure to force the coffee through the filter paper. And as all good coffee connoisseurs know, add a little bit of pressure into the mix, and that's how you get really good coffee. That is really nice. I like this a lot. But again, it doesn't end there, because you've got to clean the thing and get it ready for the next brew. So how does that work? Right, well, let's take it apart. You see, we've got a bit of rinsing to do on the plunger there. All the coffee's in there. Detach that. Filter's pretty clean, actually. That's pretty good. There's our filter and everything, and all we do, knock it out, give it a rinse. Now you can see I've actually got a bit of grinds on here, so I wouldn't say it's as clean as the brew stick. Coffee's always messy. Give that a rinse out and you're good to go. Next, we're going to try the One Brew from Barista & Co. This is much more your traditional style cafetiere coffee, but it has a little bit of a twist. So what we've got here is a jug. Now this jug is kind of, I think it's hard plastic, which means it's probably okay to take with you on a bikepacking trip if you want to. But if we take this out, I'll show you how this works. The filter is built into the spout. So this is simply a case of putting coffee into there, pouring the water on, stirring up, letting it brew, and then we pour it through the filter. So the success of this is essentially going to be, how good is that filter? Okay, so I'm using the same coffee that I used for the twist grip, because I've got a lot of it here in the sword away. I'm just going to put my coffee in. I'm going to put a couple of big heap spoons in there. All very familiar. Pour that in there. Put that down. Spoon. Give it a good stir. Now I'm going to let this brew for around about 4 minutes. Okay, that's brewed long enough. Let's give it a go. The success or not of this is all going to be down to that filter. You can see it's pouring out just fine. This is an espresso grind as well, so this is pretty good. Doesn't seem to be clogging. This one, I have to say, is looking particularly strong for my third cup of coffee of the day. So let's give it a go. Come in for the colour test. You can see that's looking coloured. That's looking correct. Good coffee. Let's give it a go. Third coffee of the morning. By jingoes, that's strong. Quick word on cleaning. It's the standard cafetiere style cleaning, so we're going to have to open this out, rinse everything, pour water on it, let it dry, stick it back in the bag. That's all there is to it, really. Finally, we're going to run a test with the Ubiquitous AeroPress. So the AeroPress, if you're not familiar with it, uses pressure to push coffee through filters in much the same way that the twist press does. So let's put this together. It comes in three parts. This is where the filters go. The paper filters, I prefer to use 2 filters at a time. What I actually do like is the fact that you can buy on Amazon or in other places, you can buy a metal filter so that you don't have to keep going through paper filters all the time. So reusable filters are available. There are a couple of ways that you can actually brew this. My favorite way is to put this on there, put the coffee directly into the AeroPress, pour the water into here. It needs to be on top of the cup because it's going to start dripping right from the start through that filter. Give it a stir and we're going to let that brew again. I've attached the plunger to the top, and what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to lean on this, and you can see the coffee being forced through the filter paper. Keep going all the way down. You hear the hiss of the air being pushed through the filter paper at the end. Push it all the way through, because we'll come back to that when we look at the cleaning. Easy to take that off. Milk in. And again, because pressure has been used in making this coffee, just like the twist press, it actually does alter the flavour. It gives you, for me, it gives me a better flavour of coffee when compared to the filter style. So how about cleaning the AeroPress? Okay, when you're done, turn it over, twist that, take off that filter's pretty much good to go. All the coffee in the filter's there, over to a bin, which I don't have. We will pick this up afterwards. Give it a push, rinse that under the tap, and you're good to go. Okay, so which one do I prefer? Well, it's interesting because when you're bikepacking, how compact your equipment is absolutely vital. I absolutely love the simplicity of this. It's a bit kind of sticky, but it's really, really simple. And if you are happy with just standard filter coffee, I think this is a winner. And for 12 quid, it's a billy bargain. Filter coffees like this, the jug thing, for me, doesn't really do it. I prefer to add a little bit of pressure into my coffee, so just having it sit there and brew doesn't really work for me. I think this is probably the messiest one and the hardest one to clean, so I'm going to put that over there. For me though, when it comes to bikepacking and the actual quality of coffee, it comes down to these two. The Ubiquitous AeroPress and this new to the market Barista & Co. Twist Press. They both make coffee in principally exactly the same way. I could not tell a difference in the flavour between the two, so it literally comes down to which one I prefer to pack up. In weight terms, they're about the same, but I think the thing that edges it for me is the fact that this twist press has got its own built-in storage, so we can actually put the coffee in there. If you take the AeroPress with you, you're going to have to take a little bag of coffee in another container. That could be the thing that makes it fit into your backpack or not. So for me, flavour-wise, they're both identical. If you've got an AeroPress, I see no reason why you would go out and buy one of these, and if you don't have any of these, I don't see why you wouldn't buy this over the AeroPress. They're pretty much the same. But it's just the storage on this one that makes me want to give it a big Singletrack thumbs up.
How many coffees is that, Mark?
This is number 4. This is number 4. This is my fourth coffee of the morning. Yeah. So I think I'm feeling pretty wired right now. I think I might need to go and sit in a dark room with a fidget spinner for a little while.
As all, if you know Singletrack, bollocks, stop. Morning Singletrackers, Mark here. I'm bikepacking in my garden because I wanted to demonstrate something that's very, very important. Hi Singletrackers, Mark here. I'm bike camping in my garden and I wanted to show you, as all good bike campers. Hi Singletrack. I haven't had any coffee. Hi Singletrackers, Mark here. What the hell am I doing? Right. Hi Singletrackers, Mark here. As every good bikepacker knows, that was a bee right in my face. Oh, I just pulled something in my neck.